What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Chimer Fantasy Battle Reports. I got another battle report for you today. It's CornerHammer Round 3. CornerHammer GT 2018 Round number 3. Now, the first game I got a big loss against Vampires. I actually had a pre-game against Vampires, and then I had the second game, technically, against a Vermin Swarm. But guess what? It's more Vampires. And you know what? I was thinking about that. There was like 70 people who showed up to CornerHammer. 70 players from all around the world. We had people from Ireland, people from England, people from the Mid-Atlantic region, the Midwest, obviously, because we're in Chicago. California and Colorado. There's people coming from all other places to come to the CornerHammer, which made it, honestly, the second biggest 9th Age event that happens in the United States. The second biggest event that happens in the United States for the 9th Age. And I managed to fight out of 70 players, 8 of them were vampire players, and I managed to play half of those players. I hate vampires. I really, really, really do hate vampires. It's just not a good match for me. It really isn't. And I hate to say that because I like to feel like I bring a jack-of-all-trades army that should be able to handle most than anything. But vampires is just one of those armies that I just don't have the tools to deal with. Anyways, just me spewing about vampires. But guys, let's go over this battle report really quick because I have to get to work. Anyways, let's go over what I have. Let's go over my opponent and what he has, and let's be on the way. Alright, over here I got my army. As you can see, I'm going to go run by this really fast. I got my Bushwhackers, which are Force Goblins with Tomahawks, Bows, full command. They had a movement banner I forgot that I had. I had Baxter the Pyromaniac in that unit. Baxter the Pyromaniac is a level 4 Pyromancer. I also have the BSB with them. The BSB is Bazooka, the long shot. He has the Mazazappa bow, and that I did remember to use. Over here I got 30 Feral Orc Ed Bashers with extra paired weapons, the big Stabadon, and yeah, and the Green Tide banner. Over here I got a unit of Mechanox, Totem, Iron Orcs, and then my general has Shady Shanking, and I forgot what else he had. Oh, he had like a 5 Talisman and Fireborn. Anyways, over here I got a unit of the Poodle Chasers. The Poodle Chasers are 5 Feral Orc Ed Bashers on boars. Then over here I got, and the reason they're called Poodle Chasers, you can figure it out yourself. It's basically because that's all they do is chase dogs. Over here I got my A-Rock, the Mother of Dragon, the Breaker of Chains, the Devourer of Slayers, the Eater of Artax, and many more other titles. Anyways, it's the tournament MVP, the 7-time tournament MVP. She is just a beast. Over here I got my other tournament MVP, which is my Space Rock Chicken Rock. Space Rock Coast to Coast. And yeah. Yep, that's basically it. Over here I got my K-Pack. I got Koga Kaiser Koenig. Koga Kaiser Koenig. These are 3 wolf chariots that have been highly discussed in the Juice Crew comments as of late. We were talking actually earlier today about war machines, and I was like, the hard time that I have figuring out what orcs and goblins is if the points you use in war machines, I could easily just use that in goblin chariots, and I feel like they just are much more productive. Anyways, over here we got Dave Fout, and Dave Fout is my opponent. I've actually fought him before in thinking about which one it was. It was Michigan GT last year, and he was my round 4 opponent then too. So it's actually back-to-back round 4 opponents. And then as you can see, that's his army in front of him. I don't know if I have close-ups of his armies right now. There's a couple close-ups later, you'll see it. But just from an overview here, he has a unit of Great Bats or Bat Swarms on the left there. He has 6 Vampire Knights. He has a giant block of Graveguard with the giant fence there. The Graveguard do have 3 characters in that unit, which are going to be very important later on in this video. He has 2 units of zombies in the back. Then he has more Bat Swarms, and then that giant block on the right is actually ghouls. We're playing what is that? I forgot the name of the scenario, but the scenario is the one where you either get the big center or the big flanks. And can somebody just put it down below in the comment section so I can remember what that is called? But he picked the big center, so I took the big flanks, and that giant fungus in the middle. After we started, we talked about what it is, and after we started deploying it, we decided that it was impassable. So it just can't even go through it. It's just technically rocks that are holding up the center, which kind of split my units up. I started deploying to the left to see if he would take the bait. I'm trying to remember what the scenario was. I don't think it was breakthrough. It might have been flags. It's quite possibly flags, which I think it was. I think it was flags. So I put the border boys over there, but really what I was going to do with the border boys is just do a giant fake out, which is just run the border boys opposite way of the action and just keep them alive. As you can see, this is just an overview of people to the right. That is actually a very, very, very rare photo of Jake motherfucking Murphy without his hat on. Wow. Anyways, and that's Mike Lies and Alex Meyer, and I can't tell who's bending over right now. Oh, actually, that's Rick. That's Rick, and his tree army that he got off of Joshua. Anyways, I'm just mumbling now. I go ahead and I Vanguard up, and I move my dogs up this close, but I really don't want to get too close to his Vampire Knights because obviously his Vampire Knights are going to mess up my day. We're just going to go over to turn one. Turn one Vampires. Now, he dropped everything. He went first, or I could have dropped everything and gave him first turn because I just don't like to let Vampires... I don't like to waste a turn in moving on the Vampires either way. I usually let them go first. So, as you can see, he goes ahead and he starts to move forward. Now, he does a couple things, and this is just kind of, wow, it's like, it jumps way ahead. Where is all these pictures coming from? Anyways, no, I just, this is a picture of his movement and after his magic. Anyways, his movement, as you can see, his Vampire Knights are coming up my flank, which is a very scary thing. His Graveguard's coming after me. I really can't deal with his Graveguard. I know for a fact if I go head to head against his Graveguard, he has this Vampire Lord. He has, I'm going to be honest with you, he has a Necromancer, he has a Vampire Lord, and he has another character, and I think 2 Vampire Lord. One of them's a Blender Lord. The other one's like giving me initiative down, like -3 or some shit crazy. And, yeah, I mean, Orcs already swing glass, but I'm really swinging last against that. And he's going to rip apart more Orcs than I could kill of his Graveguard. I already know this. He has the +1 to hit banner. It's just bad news. So he has pretty much a Death Star in that Graveguard unit. He does have the Vampire Knights to help assist. And then he has all those zombies and ghouls kind of as chaff. The ghouls actually do a dual purpose where they could kill the monsters too because of poison. He moves the bats in the way for chaff, and then magic, he ended up throwing a unit of zombies to block my dogs because he saw me eyeballing the fact that I would love to chaff his Vampire Knights. If I could chaff his Vampire Knights, that would be awesome because I don't have to worry about them for a turn or two, and then I can focus on those Graveguard, right? So that's all that really happens. He tried to call up a couple zombies and skeletons and shit, and I don't really think that mattered too much. Is this a picture like way ahead? What the fuck's going on? No, that's it. Goes from this to this. I think this is actually after my turn. So sorry, this picture's out of order here. We're gonna go over my turn real quick. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. I think I did take first turn, to be honest. This I'm gonna show you this picture over here. This is how the table looked when we started, and then I just moved the as you can see, I moved the Boar Boys out of the way because I don't want them to get into any fights because they'll die to a swift wind or some rocks on the floor. Magic, I end up getting off Scorching Salvo, and I end up killing a bat. I think that picture was just out of order, to be honest. I'm sorry about that, but it's not going to matter too much. I go ahead and I do Scorching Salvo, kills off like 2 or 3 ghouls, does a couple wounds out to the bats, and then I go ahead and, yeah, like I said, it's his magic turn, his turn, Vampire's turn 1. He goes ahead and throws up the zombies there, and then it's that picture that I showed you. Anyways, let's go over Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. What I did was I'm starting to move the Space Rock out of line of sight of his things. I need the Space Rock to get up there into the flanks, and I think that I do a really good job with getting the spiders into the flanks, especially against vampire players. I'm keeping a good threat on his main unit, so he's basically chaffing me with the bats. My whole goal right now, excuse me, is to destroy the bats with magic or the shooting from the bushwhackers. I did have a little bit of line of sight issues here. This is my fault because I'm not current onto the rules. But like those 5 guys hiding behind the A-Rock can't shoot the bats because the A-Rock is too big. I didn't know that. Like the old rules, I would be able to shoot over them, no problem. But I have my Black Orcs coming up the flank over there, which is great. They're getting in good position, and if he wants to charge the Black Orcs, that's great because I'll be able to counter charge with everything. I don't really take care of the zombies just yet, but I will eventually. Magic, I think I got the 2 on the Magic Flux. And go ahead and I do another Scorching Salvo, and it ends up popping off those bats right there. And then shooting, I use these guys to shoot the zombies right here. And the reason I do this is just in case his zombies charge my wolves. I don't want more zombies hitting my wolves, basically. It's going to go ahead and start off his turn, Vampire turn 2, Vampire turn 2. He's going to go ahead and do a charge here, and he needed, I think, like a 10, maybe a 9, but he fails it anyways, which is just Randy. It's just wonderful. So what he ends up doing on his magic phase, he ends up moving his bats to block my dogs. Now the reason he did this is because if I charge, I try to think about this so many ways. I try to say if I could charge the chariots into his zombies, I would overrun and I could angle it where I could hit his flank with the chariots. Not that it would do anything, but it will hold him up for his turn. Then I thought, well, maybe if I charge the chariots in with the dogs in, I could kill them all and then still do that. Technically, no. It doesn't work with maximizing. It just fails miserably. I actually run into like the wrong angle. Anyways, Magic, he ended up getting 5 dice, and he just starts to raise more zombies. He tries to. I just basically stop his spell to chaff me more. Basically, I don't mind if he wants to raise more things. He has again, he doesn't really have a very razy army. His army is actually made to do more damage. So he has a lot of close combat buffs, and he has a couple like range missiles and stuff like that, but that's it. He really didn't have much to beef up his units to maximize the double usage of it. My turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2, I think this was. So I'm gonna go ahead and Magic, I end up getting, oh no, I think this is what he did. Yeah, no, this is still his magic phase. His magic phase, he ends up giving these guys a debuff. I think this is -1 to hit. And then he gave his guy, I don't even know what. I don't have cards for his magic phase. Let's go start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. Orcs and Goblins turn 2. I'm going to call it the Wog! And I'm going to Wog out. I charge in. Still, like I said, I was going to kill these zombies, get them out of the fucking way. I charge the Space Rock into the ghouls. I'm like, fuck it. If the Space Rock kills them, great. I'm going to be in the flank. That's awesome. I'm trying to charge the Iron Boys into those zombies, destroy the fucking zombies, and be out of his front charge arc, right? And if I do that, I will be in his flank, and it's just going to make him turn around and be pincered on both sides, right? As you can see, the Iron Boys fail the charge. The Space Rock gets in. Now, here's what I do. I figured, fuck the dogs. The dogs are going to run all the way around, which they do, because I have a 20-inch fucking march, okay? So I run all the way around to the flank of his zombies, and I not only that, but I bring the fucking Poodle Chasers with too, and the Poodle Chasers are threatening the zombies, because now I'll be able to threaten his rear, threaten the zombies, get rid of his bunkers, because it is flags, by all means. Alright, now, the K-Pack's going to take care of the chaff on that side, which is great. Now, here is the one thing of beauty here, the one mistake that happened that in my favor, was he moved the Grave Guard close enough where the distance between the rocks and his guy doesn't allow the Vampire Knights to charge in at all. So I go ahead and I walk my A-Rock right there and say, fuck it, you can't move me, and you can't double charge me. He could charge his Grave Guard in, but that's it, you know. Now, let's see, not the Vampire Knights, and the Vampire Knights are the ones I want to stop. Magic, I got 8 dice. Go ahead and I do a fireball, kill off a couple of Grave Guard. Here's my big battle plan. My big battle plan is I can't kill the Grave Guard. I can't fight him in a one-on-one fight. I've learned that from Rob's fight. I learned that from Mike Ly's fight. I just can't deal with the Grave Guard. So I'm going to just start killing him with fire. Just kill it with fire. Why not? So I go ahead and I do a fireball, kill off 3. Go ahead and I do a scorching salvo, I kill off 3 more. And I'm just focusing fire on these guys. I just can't fight them straight up. And then I go ahead and let's go to shooting. Bazooka and the freaking forest goblins. The bushwhackers start shooting in, and they end up killing off 3 more Graveguard. This is awesome. Over here, close combat, I blow up the zombies, and I'm going to overrun into those bats and blow up those bats. Over here, close combat, woo! He ends up racking up 2 wounds onto the Space Rock, but the Space Rock rips apart the fucking ghouls, and I freaking destroy the unit, turn them around, and I'm like, I got exactly where I want to be. Over here, it's going to start off his turn. Vampire turn 3. Vampire's turn 3 is charging in into the A-Rock, and I was like, did I fuck this up? Did I fuck this up? If he charges in, will his units pivot enough where he could fit in between? But the answer was still no. So he's still going to charge into my Space Rock. Alright. These guys, I think that was his magic. He gave me like a -1 leadership and -1 weapon skill thing. Over here, close combat, the A-Rock ends up eating 4 or 5 of these guys, but that's it. He goes ahead, he goes into town, and he destroys my A-Rock. I think I ran, to be honest. He didn't kill me, but I run, and he chases and he overruns this way and gets right into my freaking savages. Ugh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb for leaving that open. I could have just angled it so he didn't overrun into me, or it was a harder overrun to me, or I think, no, I remember what it was. I wanted him to overrun into my savages, and I wanted my Black Orcs to cover the counter charges. You could see the Black Orcs are right on that hill. They could see his rear, but he was a smart enough player where, I'm going to go back to this picture here. You can see his zombies are in a conga line, and they conga line chaffed my Black Orcs. So I can't get in. It's going to go ahead and start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. So now that I'm chaffed, I basically just turn my Black Orcs facing this, hoping that I can hold steadfast. On the left, you could see my Poodle Chasers and my dogs charged into those zombies over there. I'm like, fuck it. They're zombies. I could take these. And my Space Rock charges the other zombies, hoping that I could fish that line over closer and hold them still. The big problem here is by the time his turn starts, those Vampire Knights are running free, which kind of sucks. So yeah, over here, I give these guys rerolls to hit against that unit, which is just awesome. Over here, close combat, as you can see, the freaking with the battle focus, the freaking Poodle Chasers ripped apart those zombies. Holy shit, did they rip apart those zombies. So they overrun, and I needed like an 11 to hit, and I rolled a 10. Anyways, over here, close combat. Woo! Like I said, man, it's not fun fighting. It's not fun fighting an elite unit that just destroys your unit. But basically, so he killed, man, it looks like I have like 7 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, so that's 12. So he killed, out of 30, he killed 18 of my savages. 18 fucking savages. I killed like maybe 10 of his, maybe. But he wins combat huge, and even if I have rerolls and all that stuff, it didn't matter because I didn't have the extra ranks on the green tide, because I didn't have the rank, because I swing last. So he destroys me, I run away. Now here is the big decision. I run away, I only run like 4 inches, but he was thinking and thinking and thinking, should he chase or should he not chase? Now it is flags, so if he chases, it is a flag. I was scared shitless that he doesn't chase. It's his turn next, right? But if he doesn't chase, he could just turn, face my Forest Goblins, and just charge my Forest Goblins, and I'm fucked. And I lose my Wizard and my BSP and my Forest Goblins, right? He's not going to charge my Black Orcs with that unit, because that unit's pretty depleted. But he chose to chase. He's like, it is flag scenario, I need that flag, I'm going to go ahead, and he catches my savages. Holy shit, that scared me. That so fucking scared me. I thought that was over for me. I thought that was the biggest fuck up I've done. Over here, close combat, as you can see, the Space Rock's just continuing to eat the zombies. The zombies keep crumbling and crumbling, and it's going to start off his turn. Vampire's turn 4. Vampire's turn 4, here we go. It's going to charge in the freaking Vampire Knights into the Iron Orcs, and he gets in. Boom! Like so. Magic. He rolled a 3 on the flux. He goes ahead and gives himself some bodies back up. This is a good picture to know how many Graveguard he has left. Over here, close combat. He killed a good chunk of my guys. He killed probably the back row of my Iron Orcs. But my Iron Orcs swung back with great weapons and destroyed 3 fucking knights. 3. And I think my general was in a challenge with the champ. So he crumbles just a little bit, because he charged and he did a lot of wounds, to be honest. But we're going to stick there, and it's going to go ahead over here, close combat, between... Oh, it's just a Space Rock. Space Rock just destroyed the rest of the zombies. I'm going to face the flank of those guys there. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 5. Orcs and Goblins, turn 5. I'm going to charge in the Space Rock, boom, into the flank of his Vampire Knights. Now, I'm just backing up with Bazooka and the boys, because I'm like, well, I'm not getting nowhere near that Graveguard. Fuck that Graveguard. Fuck them up their stupid ass. Anyways, as you can see, I start just bringing the Savages, or the Feral Boys, and the K-Pack around the flank there, just to scare him. If he doesn't get out of the way, I'm going to ram him on my turn, which is going to be just destroy the remaining Graveguard. That's all I really care about. I don't think I will be able to touch his lords at all, but I think I could kill his Graveguard, and I start going with that plan anyways. Magic, Fireball, kill those Graveguard, boom! I kill 5 on the first fucking Fireball. Going into Pyroclastic Flow, boom! Kill more, holy shit, it's leaving him with nothing left. He's like, shit, now he has literally the 3 characters and 4 guys remaining, and I think I started picking them off with the attribute. But we're going to go into Shooting Phase, boom! I killed the last fucking Graveguard. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? You kill me with bowfire. And I was like, hell yeah. Alright, over here, between the Space Rack and the Iron Boys, they just rip apart the remaining Vampire Knights, and I go ahead and I give him front charges like this. My whole thing is, again, is if he charges my bunker's probably like 1,000 points. He can still take that 1,000 points if with that one knight character, but if he does that, he has to strategically move the other guys out of the unit and get the fuck away from everything charging at him. I'm hoping that I could threaten him a little bit with the Iron Orcs, so that's why I faced him this way. So he contemplated charging in the one character, one of his Blender Lords. He really wants to see if his Blender Lord could blend my Lord. So he wanted to charge in, but we talked about it, and what happened was there was a misunderstanding of he thought he could charge all 3 of them out into different directions, and I was like, that's not how it works. At least that's not how I expect it to work, because it used to not work that way. But if you guys do know if there's a rule that they could just all charge different directions, that would be cool. Leave it in the comment section below. Anyway, so he decided against it because we got the ref involved, the TO involved, to figure out if that's legal or not. It's not legal. So he moves like so. He knows that the K-Pack can't touch his Lord, and he's just basically trying to hide his remaining characters out of my charge arcs. Turn 6, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 6, Orcs and Goblins. I go ahead and I move my freaking Pyromancer right in view of that guy. I go for a Pyro Flow, hit his fucking Necromancer. I do 2 wounds, but he lives. Bazooka and the boys go for the little finishing shot, and bah! They kill that fucking guy. I even moved the Space Rock so I could just shoot him with the Space Rock if he did live. I go ahead and I moved the K-Pack out of the way. I gave him the dogs, as you can see. And it's going to start off his last turn. His last turn of the game, he charges his Vampire Lord into my Iron Boys, goes in, expecting to go for a duel and just like see if this fucking Lord could just destroy my general and maybe get some points here. He charges in here to kill my dogs, and he kind of chaffed up my guys. Anyways, close combat up there on the hill. I totally forgot I had the Mykonox Totem. He has a 4+ ward. I hit him with my general. My general does several wounds to him. I think 3 wounds exact, to be honest. And he fails all 3 armor saves, and he fails all 3 wards, and he dies. It wasn't like I was doing anything fancy. I just got really fucking lucky with the dice. I didn't even turn off his magic items because I forgot I had the fucking banner. And he even said it too. Man, if you would have remembered you had that banner, I wouldn't have charged in. But I was like, I didn't use it all game. I totally forget. I haven't used it all weekend. I used it once. Oh man, as you can see though, he kills my dogs, which causes a massive panic check. I didn't realize that the savages don't panic, but I ran them anyways, which earned him some points. I thought I heard that was because the hotfix changed it and then changed it back, but originally the last iteration of this game they could panic with a maximize roll or a minimize roll. I forgot what it was. But I don't remember what it was, but or +2 leadership, I forgot. But he did kill my dogs, and he did panic my K-Pack. My K-Pack's running away, but that's the end of the game. That's where we stand, and it's gonna go ahead and call it there. I think I got a 18 on this one. I'm not entirely sure. I might have got 19. No, I got 18. I got 18 points. He got 2. It throws me into the next room. There's 3 rooms total, and what room you're in really shows you where you're at in the rankings. This is a huge win, and I was moving up from the bottom tables up, so I'm going into the next room over, which is like the second tier room. And I'm going to fight this guy right here, Mr. Maxwell Lepora. Dun, dun, dun. You guys might know him as Mooksy on the Infernal Dwarf forums. Anyways, so here's a quick picture overview of the game that we're about to play. This is actually the first time I actually got a one-on-one game against Max. I've known him for several years from this game, and I've been at every tournament he goes to, but I've never fought him until now. The only time I ever fought him was in a team tournament, but team tournaments don't count, you know that. Anyways, we went out for burgers that night at I forgot what the name of this place was, and this is a picture right before. This is the Juice Crew, by the way. It's my brother Joseph, myself, John Oakes, John 653. You guys might know him and Phil Carl. There's one person missing out of the Juice Crew in this picture, which is, or 2 people technically, which is Nick Creep and Mr. Sassy and AZ. So if you guys are watching Skaven and AZ's videos at this venue right here, at this night right here, he got the nickname Sassy and AZ for sassing off the freaking waitress. Anyways, guys, sorry, Skaz. I gotta let the cat out of the bag there. Anyways, so MVP in this game, I have to give it to Baxter. Baxter fucking ripped apart his Graveguard. If Baxter didn't rip apart his Graveguard, I really wouldn't have had a chance against much else. The other MVP, the unsung hero, is really the Space Rock, because the Space Rock was just cleaning up all the units, all the cheap units, which was just perfect. It's just what she's meant to do. And yeah, but Baxter killing off the Graveguard really, really, really saved my ass. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this. I enjoy making it, and if you guys can, hit like, hit share, subscribe. Guys, I need help going to Croatia. If you guys could go on to my Patreon, any dollar amount helps. $1, $2, $5, $10. If you do $10, though, you get a pair of Koopa dice with Koopa's fat face on them. Anyways, guys, besides that, yeah, I think that's about it. You guys know my next game, you know my MVP, you know my Patreon. Until next time, guys, take care and peace.